Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today I want to discuss an outstanding driver performance that I came across in the stream from the other day. Sometimes you'll meet a driver that just pops in the lobby out of nowhere and does very well, and deservedly so. So the focus of this video will be this driver here, and let me get this name right because I'm very bad at foreign languages, as you guys know. So I'm going to say this gentleman's name is Urberlich Held. I hope I got that right. But yeah, so I want to talk about this driver, and he came into the lobby hoping it would be like a 7-lap Nürburgring 24 race. So that's very commendable in the first place. But in this race, and this gentleman's performance was very outstanding, and I'll talk you through it as we go through the race, and we'll see why. So the great thing about meeting new drivers is the fact that they can come to the lobby and they can learn, and they can drive in an environment where most of the time they will not get knocked off by the occasional idiot or people that are driving very badly. Sometimes it can happen in lobbies and it's out of your control, because if you're at the front and you don't know what's going on at the back, but you can later see in replays what's going on. But yeah, sometimes drivers just appear in the lobby out of nowhere. They're very friendly, they're very polite, and they drive clean, and you know, they race, and they're bang on the pace that you'd expect as well. And this gentleman here caught my eye in the recent stream that we did on the weekend. So to talk you through it, in this race, obviously, if you guys haven't seen this stream, it was a 2-lap Nürburgring 24-hour race, which is kind of like, you'd say, like a mini preparation for this weekend's event, which I'll come on to talk about later. But yeah, this event here, 2 laps with tyre and fuel wear, and it was a very good race, but not so much for me in the sense that I had a sticking throttle issue, and every corner I came to was a little bit of a nightmare because I wouldn't know if my throttle would blip me out. You know, it would keep blipping and sticking, and hopefully that'll be solved by this stream on Sunday. So I was a little bit nervous and not actually fully up to pace where I should be, but I was pretty much there or thereabouts, give or take, you know. So with the pace that I was putting on here, I'm in P3 obviously, John's in P2 and Huzi is P1, so the regular guys up there at the front. But this gentleman here, yeah, he's in P4, he qualified very well, and being a German gentleman, I'd like to assume that maybe he knows this track very well. It's his home nation track, and he knows it very well and he's raced it. So in the race, you can see there, obviously John made a mistake, just clipped a little bit too much grass and went into the barrier, so a little bit unfortunate for John there. So the German driver here moves up to P3, and he's still keeping pace with me. And as you guys may know, I'm not exactly a slouch around this track. I know my way around it very well. So when it comes to racing here, the main thing is you have to be clean, you have to be respectful. And if someone is behind you and they're gaining on you, you don't want to get in the slipstream and obviously, you know, make a move in a stupid place, and just do something that's incredibly irresponsible and just dive down the inside anywhere. And you'll see how this driver here is very respectful in that when he gains close to me, he would kind of like lay off the throttle a bit and kind of hang back and be very patient, and not just try to chuck one down the inside when you're like 3 or 4 tenths behind, you know, like some guys actually do. So with this race, yeah, like I say, I was having the throttle issues. So I was like always watching my mirror. I was trying to look in front. I was trying to catch Huzi as well. He was in the Ford GT, which was very hard to do. And I was always looking in my mirror. And in this race, for the full 2 laps, this German driver here was right behind me, like the whole way, as you'll see in this replay. So I was constantly having to think about keeping the pace up, and pushing. Because what I didn't want to do was obviously be overtaken or fall back down the order. Because obviously when you're up at P2, P3 or P4, you're trying to go for the win, because you realistically have a chance. But with this circuit being the way it is, it's very unique. It's long and twisting, and if you make a mistake here or crash, especially early on in the race, there's always a chance that you can make a massive comeback. There's been times where I've been knocked off before at turn 1 on a 1 or 2 lap race, and I've come back from like P10, P11 or something, all the way back up to the podium, sometimes even winning. It's really that, it can be that actually satisfying to do. So we come now to halfway through the lap, and you can see the gap here is relatively the same. It was hovering about a half a second to 7/10, around about a second for most of the lap. And you can see that he gets in the slipstream here, and it's very good to meet like new guys and to have them on board in the lobby. I can't stress this enough, that when it comes to having racers in your lobby, what you want is guys that are clean and respectful, guys that won't just like, you know, crash into a wall and then just quit the race, you know, stuff like that, because you want to race with as many guys as you possibly can, for the fun factor, if anything else. But in this race we did have a high attrition rate. I do believe that, I think it's 15 or 16 guys started the qualifying, 11 of them started the race, and we actually ended with 5 people actually finishing the race. So in terms of going forward for next weekend's event, I will actually say, guys, if you do not think you can complete a 4-lap Nürburgring 24-hour race and complete it twice, then I would just watch the stream if I were you, because obviously it's going to be tough. It's like a mini endurance race, and I wouldn't want you to not have a good time as well. So the last thing I want is everyone to quit the race, have like 3 guys left, and everyone typing in text chat, oh, this is a great race, blah blah blah, or restart, you know. So for the guys who want to come to the event this Sunday, I'm just going to stress right now that if you come to race, can you please race, you know. A 4-lap race on this place with fuel and tyre wear, if you spin off or get nudged a little bit, don't just rage quit the race. You have so much opportunity to come back and get a good result here. It's literally not impossible to do. So with that being said, we'll continue the race here as well. And yep, so we're coming up to the old section of the Nordschleife here, and as you can see, he's in the slipstream here. He starts to get really close, but you will notice what I said before, like he just kind of like backs off a little bit. He's playing it very intelligent, very clever here. He's not trying to get too much dirty air, and obviously he gets stuck behind me in the fact that he can't see the corner, and he's going to struggle to overtake, or doesn't want to hit me as well. So yeah, so we're sticking throttle side. Like I say, I was really pushing for this one the best I actually could. In qualifying, I was, I think it was like 4 seconds off the pace that Huzi set in pole. Obviously with the Ford GT being a very fast car, but that's neither here nor there. So as you can see, he's closed up in the slipstream now, and we're just coming to the final tricky corner at the end of the circuit. And this corner is about to claim its first victim, and very unlucky there for Huzi. He just went a little bit wide there and touched the grass, and he went down the order there. And that is just so easy to do on that part of the circuit. And it won't be the last time in this race that it claims a victim as well. So keep an eye out for this too. So yeah, so now I'm in first place, and this driver is behind me in second. But as you can see, he's in the slipstream, and I go defensive here. Just move to the left hand side, and if he wants to overtake, I'm going to make him go around the right hand side to overtake. But yeah, he just kind of backs off the throttle a little bit. He stays on the slipstream. He's playing the long game here. He knows as well that obviously we've got to go for a pit stop, which we're about to do at the end of lap 1 here as well. And that gives us the opportunity to see what the relative fuel loads are, and who's saved the most fuel and who's burnt the most. So we're coming to the pit, so we can see I've burnt a little bit more fuel, 3 or 4 litres more. And obviously we're going to top up the fuel, change the tyres, get on some nice sticky grippy rubber for the second lap, because it's definitely needed by the tyre wear that we had. So we fill up, I fill up a little bit less, and we're on our way again, so I get a little bit more of a lead because I filled up less fuel in the actual pit stop there. So you've got to be careful with cold tyres here into turn 1 and turn 2. You just come out the pits on the fresh rubber, and the tyres will always be cold as soon as you come out, especially when there's tyre wear on and degradation. So at this point of the race, I'm obviously thinking, okay, I've got like maybe a second and a half gap. I've got to try and keep it the best I can. So that's what my main aim is here. But as you can see, this driver is very tenacious. He will not give up. He'll be very smooth, and he'll keep pushing, because when you're with a sniff of a win, or even a good result, you don't give up. You just never give up. Even if I'm driving in 16th place, or something like that. Let's say I don't qualify, or I qualify at the back or something, you know, you just never give up until the end, even if you spin. So coming through now to the end of the new Nürburgring circuit, you can see the gap is still relatively staying the same, and yeah, it's pretty good to see that other drivers can keep pace. You know, new drivers come in the lobby, but yeah, with other drivers that we have, a lot of them have made massive improvements as well. A lot of them do deserve credit for that. Drivers like John, who won the Sarf Series 2, King Trolley was also made some good speed, and he's getting faster all the time, PlayStation issues aside. But yeah, drivers have come and gone in the lobby. Some have won races, others have improved, and some have not so improved. But it really depends how much practice you put into this game. The more practice that you can put in, the more you get out. It's the same with any game you play. But with this game, as I make a little mistake there, and he catches up and he's back in the slipstream again. With this game, like many others, it's about learning the little traits of what this game is all about. For example, if you go wide in the corner, if you hit some grass like this, look at that, I just managed to hold that. That was very close. If you go four wheels over the grass, let's say you're going to crash off a little bit, you can get dirty tires. And as I've mentioned lots of times before, when I've said in the stream, oh, I have dirty tires now, so I've got to be careful in the braking for the next corner. So if you crash off, or the game resets you, you automatically have dirty tires. So as soon as you start to accelerate, your tires are absolutely really dirty and very slippery. So you've really got to be careful of that as well. So if you go wide or crash off, you just got to be very careful. This is a mistake that most new drivers actually make. They don't understand that when they go on the grass or get track reset, their tires have like zero grip basically. So you've got to be gentle on the throttle to rectify that mistake. So he's closing up now. I'm starting to look in the mirror just to keep an eye on him. I'm still trying to push. At this point in the stream, on this corner coming up here, I said a swear word, let's say, because I couldn't get the car stopped. I really could not get the thing stopped in the corners. When the car was blipping, when I went down to like second gear, it kept blipping the throttle through the corner, and it would extend the apex of my corner so much that I had to completely wait until I got back on the throttle again. So it costed me so much time in every single corner that I was trying to do, and it was random as well. Some corners were fine, no problems. Other corners, it would just push me out wide, and I was like really trying to focus and pay attention to it. I mean, you could say that really realistically, it was like driving a car, like with a problem in real life, you know, like an accelerator linkage problem or something like that, and you had to like nurse the car home. So yeah, I didn't honestly think I was going to win this race, but yeah, I just kept pushing, and that's the best way to be. So we're coming now down to the section I talk about in the guide, the one with the bump and the camber up the hill, and very tricky corner to get right, but the German driver here has nailed it very well, and he's still in the slipstream range as well. And the sign of a great driver is, on this track especially, this is the best and hardest track you can ever race on, and if you can keep within the driver's slipstream here, especially with the 0.7 second slipstream we have now on real, then it is a sign of a great driver. There's no doubt about it. If you're fast at this track, you are fast everywhere. It's just as simple as that. So here we go now down the Bass Straight. He's in the slipstream again, but you can see he's just kind of hanging back. He's not going to get right on my bumper, try to intimidate me or make a silly move or something like that, because I can keep good pace, and so can he. And come through here, I put a little bit of time out there, and we're going to approach the carousel very soon as well. So through this section of the race, I mean, I was just pushing like crazy, especially when we get onto the back section of the old Nordschleife. You'll see me like increase the gap a little bit more to over 1.2 seconds at one point. But just being careful here, keeping in the storm drain, just making sure I pop out right so I don't spin the car too much, and just trying to focus, trying to hit those apexes, and just keep a maximum concentration for here. It's good practice as well for Sunday's event, like we discussed previously. The fact that if you can do 2 laps here, then I'm sure you can do 4. For Sunday's event, there should be 1 pit stop per race. I'm going to play around with the settings. I'm going to make sure that we have enough fuel and tire life so we have a good race for Sunday. I'm going to jump on and do some testing to make sure that's all like good. But something else I didn't mention in that video was the fact that if, let's say, I won the first race and someone wins the second race on Sunday, you have two winners. Now, only winning counts in these races, so in that case you're going to have a tie break, but it won't be on Nürburgring 24. The tie break itself will actually be a Nürburgring Grand Prix, and in the event of a tie break, what's going to happen is the driver out of the two winners who finishes highest even in race 3 will win. Okay, so you've got it all to play for, so it's definitely worth not dropping out the races and completing them, because let's say if 16 guys start race 1 and only 5 finish, I'm not expecting a very high finish rate. I know some drivers are gonna just leave anyway, some random drivers that come in, so yeah, you've got a good chance of a great result, so it's definitely worth sticking in there. So anyway, back to this race at hand here. We're coming through the second mini carousel, coming up to the final corner now, and I've extended the lead to 1.2 seconds, but we're going to have a small issue right here, and there we go, just a little tiny clip of the grass, almost the same mistake as Josefe made on lap 1, and it's so easy to do. And you'll notice here that the German driver does not start texting in text chat, oh my god, this and that, It's always the sign of a driver who just wants to race, the guys that just get back on the track, get on with it, put their foot to the floor and just try and finish the race, So that's the best way to be. Yeah, because whether or not I'm on mic or whatever, you'll not see me come off track and text chat or whatever. I just think it's pointless. Just finish your race and then sort your business out afterwards. So there is that. So we're just coming to complete the race now, and this was definitely a standout performance. This definitely caught my eye. I think this gentleman here is the star of the future in the lobbies if he comes back to race with us again. And he's going to cross the line P2, but it probably should have been P1. So he definitely had the speed to do it. And he's doing the wiggle. He's kind of overjoyed to finish P2. So that's very good to see. So I just thought I'd share this with you guys. I want to thank you very much for watching. Please drop by on Sunday and race with us for a watch. So thank you very much for watching. This is TJ. Take care. Bye bye for now.